The Overpolemical
Podcast. The Overpolemical
Podcast. The
Overpolemical Podcast. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-gendered humans from Poland and all other countries of the world, and possibly interspace aliens and or extraterrestrial beings that are interested in the subject matter that we are.
And we would like to also shout out to all the dogs and other pets that are
Yes.
listening to us, along with their owners, because they are for sure.
And dolphins.
And dolphins. Oh, okay. This is what we're gonna start with then.
Yes, absolutely. Because Victor does this thing most mornings where he sends me the most random things he finds on the internet, and it's a cornucopia of very interesting articles, possibly scandalous political and social events that are going on in the world.
I just try to brighten Maciek's day in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, he's drinking his cup of coffee. I send him an awesome article or some awesome facts. And he's like, "Thanks, Victor. You really." I change his life every day.
Absolutely.
What I did
Absolutely,
today
no
is
doubt.
I sometimes get lost on YouTube. Who doesn't? And I found a TED Talk about dolphins. But this wasn't any TED Talk about dolphins. In this TED Talk, the lady, which was the speaker, she introduced the idea that dolphins qualify as persons. I'm not saying here people, but as persons. So they have I don't know. Is it the same as a personality?
I don't know.
don't
I'm
know.
asking you. I read it very briefly, and
Same here. That's exactly what I did. I don't usually read these articles all the way. I just send them off to Maciek. Make him do... Oh, fuck. Oh, the microphone just fell over. Sorry, guys. We're back in business. I make him read it. But what I did is I read the beginning. And in the beginning, she mentioned... I'll do one thing. Maciek, can you do the talking for 30 seconds?
So what I read the synopsis and watched a bit of the video, and basically this researcher
We don't know her name.
made the claim that she's University of North Carolina, I believe.
Wow, you
She
know
made
more
the
than I
claim
know.
that dolphins fulfill the 8 characteristics that are required to consider someone a person. And
Yes, and that's exactly what I'm trying to find. Are those 8
The 8 characteristics?
Yes, I found 3, which kind of
we're
sucks.
almost halfway there. I believe that
Okay,
if-
this article sucks because what we're doing right now is we're just surfing the internet and trying to desperately find anything that we could read to you guys that talks about dolphins and them being a person. But what she did say, okay, this is bullshit. We have to change the subject. Okay, I can tell you guys a story.
okay.
The most amazing thing happened to me on Sunday. I was coming back home. I was using the subway, or as you would say in Europe, the underground. Like, you know, I wasn't walking underground. I used the subway. That's a train that goes underground. And I got into the, if I'm correct, it was the second wagon in front. Wagon, is that what you say it? The fuck? Trains have wagons?
Maybe. I think we have to. Oh, and speaking of, because the destruction of our microphone and this question of wagons has brought up an interesting subject. I think what we need to do to reduce the amount of profanity in our podcast is we're going to create a swear jar. And the swear jar, what this means for us is that whether it is the two of us or any guests that we have on here, if anyone uses profane language that we would not want our mothers to hear us using, we will be donating some small sum of money to a good cause.
I say we do 1 zloty per swear word.
Okay,
That's
for
the
now, that's the beginning.
That's the equivalent of 33 cents.
a little
lot,
less
guys.
even, so like 30 cents. But it'll add up. I've already counted two of these
You did?
situations.
We're gonna listen through this podcast.
Yes,
and
we
just
will.
count.
We will
We're
listen
gonna do
to it
that every
multiple times.
time because it's a great podcast.
Do you have this thing where I do not like the sound of my own voice when heard recorded back, and I've always had that. Even as
I
a
used
kid.
to have that.
And now you
I-
just think it's wonderful. You fall asleep to the sound of your own voice. Yes.
No, not really. But an interesting fact: my recorded Polish voice pisses me off. My recorded English voice doesn't. I found that I have a lower voice in English. I speak in a lower tone. When in Polish, I have the tendency to kind of like screech, or I don't know what you want to call it. And so I'm less abbreviated by my English voice. What about you? Or you don't really care?
No, I
It's
hate
both?
I hate it both ways.
Okay.
But I definitely feel that my voice is different and I sound like a different person.
It is.
And I am a different person.
Exactly.
And
This is a good topic.
the language that I'm using at the moment influences how I think.
Exactly. There's been a study, and this is legit, guys. It's not that we're making shit up.
This is real news. This isn't fake
This
news.
is real news. What they found is that bilingual kids growing up when they're influenced by two different I wouldn't say societies because it's not that big, but two different like culture groups, right?
Yeah.
And, like at home, I would always speak Polish, and then I would go out to school and I would speak English. And what this that's just based on us. And what this study proved is that kids develop different characters depending on what language they speak. So it's like we have a switch that I'm talking in Polish, and I don't know, I may be a little less aggressive or more aggressive. I have a different sense of humor.
Sure.
I can be more easily startled or not. And then boom, I start speaking English, and the switch.
So what is it
switches.
specifically for you? Like, give me a specific.
It's hard.
Thing that's-
I never really thought about this.
so that's why I'm asking the question.
One thing for sure, when it comes to talking, I like to talk. I think I have a different sense of humor in Polish and in English. Maybe this isn't really. It's not caused by my. I have a different personalities. Maybe it's just specific of the language. It's easier for me to joke in English than it is in Polish.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I need less to laugh. You know what I mean?
Okay, so it's easier to make you laugh. It's easier. You would be more likely to see a comedy show in English
Yes,
than
definitely,
in Polish.
definitely. Maybe that's just
Maybe that's because people who speak English are funnier.
yeah,
Maybe
maybe.
that's
No,
just the
but
sense of
there is a
humor
thing in Polish that when it comes to joking in Polish, it's based on heavy swear words, and it's not really. I don't know how to say it. You know what I mean. You have to know.
No,
what I mean.
yeah, I know what you mean, but I'm
Polish
wondering.
humor. You know, there's people that say that English humor is specific. Like English. I mean English people from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fucking English Isles. And
That's three.
Isles. That's three. And I think that maybe this is more accustomed to the Polish culture than the Polish language.
Yeah, it's
But-
definitely possible. I mean,
We drifted off the topic again.
that's fine.
But it's okay.
It's okay. This is an interesting topic. I mean, the thing that I've noticed as far as my personality, what's different when I speak English as opposed to when I speak Polish, I feel this is changing because I use Polish more and more. But I used to feel much more confident when I was lying in English. It was just lying. Yes. At first, it was much easier for me to.
Oh no, I'm a way better liar in Polish.
Yeah?
I am for sure.
See, with,
Fuck, I can just lie like that. It's
Yeah, that
nothing
is
in
for-
Polish. It's easy. But in English, maybe that's just due to the fact that I haven't been lying in English very much lately.
yeah, you should lie more in
I
English.
should start lying.
Or
I'm gonna
lie
lie
less in Polish.
I'm gonna lie to you guys on this podcast.
Yeah, lie more and more. And then
I'm just gonna give you fake news. Like
Yeah.
dolphins aren't persons.
Back to dolphins. Okay,
we're
so
back.
so we discussed that a little bit. Back to dolphins. I found the 8 categories that the 8 criteria that are described.
Let's do this. Let's read the criteria.
Yeah.
Let's see.
and we'll
if,
see if Victor has any of these.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. But we'll see if the dolphins fit them according to our knowledge, because we don't know shit
don't know
about
anything
dolphins.
about dolphins.
But we'll see. Maybe they fit them anyway. And then we'll try to think of something that also fits them. So we're gonna like try to make a cat a person or a dog. Let's try it.
Yeah,
Let's go.
let's
Or we'll.
Okay, so in the book, In Defense of Dolphins, written by Thomas White, he discusses 8 criteria. And I'm going to list them and see if we can consider dolphins people, if we can consider Victor people.
Let's go.
if
I'm
we
gonna
can
write
consider
this
Victor's
down.
dogs people.
So I see this in front of me.
Okay, point 1. A person is alive.
Okay.
I think we could definitively say that Victor's vital signs suggest that he is indeed alive.
But that makes my fucking
So what can
My
we
bed
exclude?
isn't a person.
Okay, so beds are not people. Next,
my wall.
a person is
you didn't
aware.
want more. You wanted okay. You
Person
wanted
is aware.
okay. That makes people in hospitals not exactly persons.
Persons. I think that makes a lot of.
That means like 50% of the fucking population aren't persons because they are not aware of the way that they're getting fucked by the world governments.
Okay, we're gonna. This is a tendency of
I'm
Victor
kidding,
in
guys.
general.
I'm kidding.
He's kidding, but he's also
I also love
conspiracy
theories.
So
I'm like the Eddie Bravo and the Alex Jones of Warsaw. That's what I do.
So I think that we will have a special episode dedicated to Victor's
We have to do
conspiracy
that.
theories through the ages.
That's an amazing idea, actually. Let's do that.
Absolutely,
And let's
no
get
problem.
some cool guests on. This is going to be for a while. All you heard was guests. Now you get to hear us two talking
Yes,
again. So
you get to
so enjoy
hear
this
us.
moment. Really,
Swear and not swear. Okay, so person is alive, aware.
that's 2 A's.
The next
AA.
is feels positive and negative sensations.
Okay, that's still up to now. A dog and a cat is still a person.
Yes. Next, we have emotions.
Okay, now this is where it gets complicated because I do not know if animals feel emotions.
I definitely think animals feel emotions.
No, but like emotions, like how long
wh-
does a dog really miss you, or is it
My dog misses me whenever. The second
bullshit?
I
Your
leave,
dog doesn't give a fuck about you.
until the second I come back, he's just thinking and constantly wondering what I'm up to, what I'm doing, and I'm thinking of him too. And we're sending each other telepathic messages. And I'm like, "Hey, what up, Grizzly? By the way,
it's
follow
not a
my
grizzly,
dog
guys.
on Instagram.
Do
My
that,
dog
guys.
has
Do
an
that,
Instagram.
guys. Do that.
So I'll post.
Okay,
a link
so
to that somewhere
emotions.
below. Okay, so we got alive,
Yeah,
aware,
yeah.
positive and negative sensations, emotions. Next,
Yes. Okay.
a person has a sense of self.
Is this like a physical sense of self or
Like
psychological?
you're you know that you're you. You know, like there's this moment when during a child's development when the person that they see in the mirror, they start recognizing them as themselves. And I think that this is what they're referring to. It's very interesting in child development, like when they start making that. You see that also with pets. Sometimes pets will
Yeah, that's what I was
react
gonna say. Like,
to
but they don't know it's them. I don't think they do. They
that's-
fucking bark at the mirror all day.
okay. Some dog. Do your dogs bark at the mirror all day?
They used to.
Oh,
maybe
but
they
see,
grew up. They
maybe
recognize
they now
it's
have
themselves.
a sense of self. Now
That's
they're
awesome, actually.
Your dogs are woke.
Oh, they're woke.
Okay.
Flat Earth guys.
The next step is controlling its own behavior. And
I don't know
think
why
this
I'm writing this down, but I am.
And I think this
I feel
disqualifies a
smart.
lot of humans as well,
Yeah.
with very low self-control. So I think according to these criteria,
Many people aren't persons.
most of my friends are not people. It turns out.
No, they're not persons.
They're not persons.
That's two different
Okay,
things.
so a person and a people. Okay, got it. I think. Next, a person recognizes other persons and treats them appropriately.
Fuck. There go more of my friends.
There go the rest of my friends, and I'm alone. I'm completely alone. I am a rock. Okay, next. And there's a variety of sophisticated cognitive abilities. This includes problem solving, abstract thought, etc. I don't know how you can check that.
Problem solving in dolphins or overall. No, that's stupid.
Well, in dolphins, I
think they gave him like fucking riddles to do, and
Yeah,
I think that's what they did.
exactly. What comes once in a day?
No, that's not what I meant. Like, let's do this. I'll check this, and Mashik's he's gonna tell you a joke in the meantime.
Yeah. No,
let's do that.
that's not what we're gonna do.
Dolphins riddles. I'm typing this into Google.
Okay, but did you watch the rest of the TED Talk?
No, I
that you
didn't.
sent me?
I told you. I sent you 3 minutes. I watched 3 minutes of the TED Talk I sent you.
Okay, so that's what happens when I get a message from Victor. It's like, oh, dude, look at this. This guy controls the world, and we're all under his control.
Okay, guys, I typed in dolphins and riddles, and what I got is, it's a picture from Disney, and it says, oh no, it's riddlesandanswers.com. Dolphins riddles to solve with answers, and that's all I got. Maybe we can give you guys a riddle. Okay, my chick. Oh no, shit.
Okay.
I won't give you a
So
riddle.
how about I can
Okay.
give you an example of what happened in this TED Talk.
Sure. Let's do that.
Basically, what happens is there was a description of a scene at a zoo where a man was smoking a cigarette. This was back when you could smoke.
Oh yes, I saw that part. I can tell you about that. What, you can do it.
No, go for it.
Okay, so this guy was smoking a cigarette, and he was standing by the aquarium or whatever you want to call it, and there was a mother dolphin and a baby dolphin. And they were swimming together in the water, having fun, doing dolphin shit. And this guy was smoking a cigarette. He walked up to the glass windowsill. I don't know what it is, like the glass wall, whatever. And he, when you smoke a cigarette, you have smoke. It comes along with that. So he blew the smoke at the at the glass, and it kind of like spread out all over the glass.
Yes.
And the baby dolphin was watching him, and it swam up to her mother. I don't know why I think it's a she, but whatever, swam up to a mother. It took a mouthful of milk. It swam back at the glass, and it blew the milk, whatever, spit the milk at the glass, and it also spread out like the smoke. And she saw that, she heard that story, and she's like, "Fuck, dolphins are persons." And she made a TED Talk about it. And I saw the headline. I didn't watch the whole thing, and I just sent it to Maciek. And then we decided that after 3 minutes of watching this TED Talk that we're going to talk about it on a podcast. And that's how we're here 20 minutes later.
So what we were actually planning on discussing is both Victor and I have made some.
Before we start that, can I tell my story?
Yeah,
because I started and I didn't finish.
Tell your story.
I was in the subway, and this was the second wagon.
Okay, second wagon.
Up at the front. Okay, so I walk in, and I'm just standing there, listening to music like everyone does on a subway. And we get to the next station, and the like subway security guard just runs in, and he's like fucking all panicked, looking around, like looking for something. I'm like, oh, he's probably looking for a hobo or another homeless guy, because that's what they mostly do. They kick him out because hobos are discriminated in the subways because they stink. But he walks in, and he's looking for something. I'm like, what is he looking for? I want to help him. Like, let's get this hobo out of here. But it turned out that he wasn't looking for a hobo. There was a what do you call it? There was a
suitcase.
A suitcase. Yes, there was a suitcase in the middle of in the middle of the part of the subway that I was standing in. And he walks up to the suitcase, and he's like, "Do any of you passengers want to claim the suitcase?" It's like it was a prize, and I'm like, "No, everyone." Like, it's just quiet.
Victor answered for everyone.
Yeah, I'm like, no one.
Neither
no one.
I nor no one else on this subway would like to claim this suitcase.
And it's quiet, like all eyes on the suitcase. The suitcase like put on a golden chain and started rapping, "All eyes on me," like Tupac, and he wanted to click the alarm button to stop the subway train, but he didn't make it in time. So the subway train started going to the next station, and this is like the moment that everyone realized that why he was panicking. Right? Everyone it could have been a bomb. And so he starts asking more questions. Are you sure? Did anyone leave this suitcase? Did anyone see who left this? Blah, blah, blah. And then someone told him that it's been in this wagon since Kabate. That's the first station.
Since I can remember.
Of the
this suitcase has traveled with me.
Of the Warsaw subway line.
It's been following me around.
And that's the moment when everyone realized that someone had to walk in, place the suitcase, and walk out. It was a huge fucking suitcase. Like, you can't forget that shit. Because it was, like, in the middle. It wasn't even close to the door or anything like that.
It was perfectly placed for an explosion.
And this is the moment when everyone realized that if this shit blows, we're all dead. And the cool thing is that no one tried to move away from it. Everyone's like, fuck it. Maybe no one really believed.
Accepted their fate.
Yeah, that's what I think. Maybe no one really believed that it was a bomb, but, you could just kind of like scoot away a couple inches at least. No one did that. Okay, and we arrived at the next station. More security guards come in. They're like, "Oh my god, it's a fucking bomb." Well, they didn't say it, but because you can't say bomb on an airplane, like, and
or
the
underground.
And you walk in. They walk in.
They can't say bomb because we were in the subway, and you can't say bomb on an airplane. # logic.
And okay, so everyone's like quiet, staring at the suitcase. Like, what do we do now? And then someone like got their voice together, and they're like, so we're not gonna go any further. And the guy's like, oh no, I have to wait for more commands from whoever the security guard boss of the Warsaw subway. And this is like the moment that everyone's like, and they just fucking sprint towards the fucking door. Everyone just left in like 2 seconds. Bam, the wagon was empty. I think that you could like feel this pressure. Like no one wanted to leave first. It's like, we felt this sense of brotherhood. Like we're gonna die together. And the moment we got like the what you call it the signal to leave, everyone just like, got the fuck out of there. Then while I was getting the fuck out of there, I heard them go on the microphones or whatever you call it, that please evacuate the whole station, blah blah blah. So they evacuated the station, and I'm on my way home, all excited that I almost got killed by a bomb, and I wanted to tell you guys an awesome story. But I checked the news yesterday, I checked it today, nothing showed up. So if it was a bomb, they didn't want to tell us, or it wasn't a bomb, it was just a suitcase. Just a suitcase.
Just a big
So
suitcase.
it's not that awesome of a story, but
thank you for sharing.
I wanted to share it.
Snaps for Victor. Thank you. We should write a slam poetry.
So if any of you have ever been
Abducted by aliens.
or took part in a terrorist attack
Or planned a terrorist attack.
Let us know, okay?
Or stopped a terorist attack.
Oh, that'd be awesome if we could get
That
someone
would be
like
very
that.
interesting.
That'd
Absolutely.
be awesome.
Okay. So
I don't want to get into this topic, but I've been talking to people with this about this, and some guy told me that he knows someone who knows someone. So I don't know if this is going to be a good story, but he asked him like, why hasn't there been any terrorist attacks in Poland? Right? He's someone from the like our version of the fucking CIA, FBI, whatever you want to call it, Homeland Security, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, and the guy told him, well, like he didn't answer directly, like there haven't been any terrorist attacks. It's like it's because we act quickly or something like that. And this got me thinking, maybe there have been some tries, and we have some amazing security in this country, and that's the only reason that nothing blew to pieces yet. Maybe. But going back to the subway thing, I actually felt kind of good that they found the fucking suitcase before it got to like the city center. They stopped the train, they evacuated the people. That's always a good sign that someone is actually like
taking it seriously.
Because mostly what happens in Poland is no one gives a fuck about anything. And
there goes another.
What I was expecting is like, oh, there's a suitcase on this subway and no one wants to claim it. Fuck it, whatever. And then
well, it's nice to know that there are people who respond, even if it was whether it was a false alarm or not is less relevant than the fact that there are people who respond. Okay, so moving on to the topic that we initially planned on discussing today.
After dolphins, after
dolphins and attempted terrorist attacks with suitcases, we were planning on discussing a topic that is rather controversial and has been for a while, and that is
gay people adopting children.
Actually, we're gonna save that for a later time, and we're gonna talk about diets.
Okay.
So, Victor, recently you've told me that you've changed something in your eating habits. Could you go into that, elaborate a little bit what you've changed and why and what the effect of that has been?
Yeah, okay. So
Victor's a fruitarian. He believes that fruits and vegetables have feelings, and that if you eat them, they must have first fallen from the tree, otherwise they have been murdered. So explain to us, Victor. Why are you so strange?
Okay, because what I've been thinking, right, is everyone worries about animals, right? That they feel pain, that they're, the little calves are taken away from their mothers, and they cry before they're slaughtered, and then the fucking right wing conservative white males eat them, and then they get devoured by them again,
over and over. They just keep re-eating them.
And so that's the animal part. Then I read an article that plants, like, they feel when they're being cut down, like a tree feels this.
I think there's a...
And I'm like, God damn it, I can't even be vegetarian, right? or vegan or whatever. So now I haven't found any studies talking about the feelings of plants of fruit. So I decided
the fruit has to actually physically fall from the tree for Victor to eat it. So
yes.
he walks next to apple trees and gently shakes the tree stump.
I kind of use my hips.
Yeah, he gets a little bit of a hip thrusting motion. He's been arrested multiple times for thrusting his hips at apple trees and at orange trees. He's
all around Warsaw.
Wanted in 13 different European countries.
Yes.
Okay, but on a more serious note, what have you changed in your diet recently? Because you are not.
Okay, guys.
As is commonly believed, you are not a fruitarian.
What we have to start with is we're not some kind of we're not freaks. Me and Maciek.
Kind of
are, but depends where.
Low key, I'm a little bit of a freak.
Because what we and Maciek would do is we would usually watch some podcasts, mostly Joe Rogan, because that's our kind of podcast idol.
Well, I got a variety, but yeah.
And we would listen to different doctors and different people talk about what they eat, how they eat, when they eat it, blah blah blah. And what we would do is we would sometimes pick a type of diet that they describe. Well, not the whole diet, but some kind of eating habit, maybe like intermittent fasting, things like that, and we would give it a try. So Maciek kind of over exaggerated that I made some big changes in my diet, but what I did do is I used to have I train sports all my life, and I do it actively. I compete, whether it has been rugby, rowing, now it's Brazilian jiu-jitsu, shit like that. So I like to compete. I like to work out. I like to train. So you would think that I should have my diet on point for years, and that I always eat right, things like that. The truth is, I haven't been doing that. What I haven't been doing is I haven't been eating enough vegetables. What I would mostly eat is a fucking meat and carbs, and that's what I would do because I didn't really like vegetables. I didn't feel like eating them. But then someday I felt really shitty. I'm like, damn, I have to change something. I have to change something in my life. So I got a mohawk, painted it purple, and became a punk.
That's it. Thank you.
And that's
what he changed in his diet. Still eats the same.
No, but
still eating meat and carbs, but now he looks 20 times more badass.
Exactly. No, what I did is I've been kind of experimenting. I don't want to lock this in some kind of diet that I'm on. It's you can't really say that I'm on any type of diet. But what I did is I fucking cut the carbs. I don't eat eat a lot. So what I have to say really quickly is that I'm on no strict diet, right? So if I'm out with my friends and they want to get a pizza and it's I can get a pizza.
Yells at them and tells them that the pizza is feelings.
But what I do is 9 out of 10 meals I try to eat like I want to eat. And what I do is I don't eat lots of rice. I don't eat lots of bread. I don't eat potatoes, shit like that. Mostly my meals consist of some kind of meat or eggs or fish or something like that. And then I add a fucking fuckload of vegetables to that.
I see
all
Victor's
types.
Going to be donating a lot of money to our charity.
So what we're going to do is, since no one listens to the podcast, we're going to skip that part and we're not going to donate anything.
We're going to hold your feet to the fire. I know where you keep your money, and I'm just going to steal it and donate it to a charity of your choosing. You can choose the charity. Okay. You can donate it to homeless lesbian cats.
That's how I changed my eating habits. I started eating more vegetables, less carbs. So you could say it's kind of like a ketogenic diet. But I'm not exactly sure it is because I eat lots of fats.
The thing that I was going to ask you about is you've told me.
Do I have any benefits from this? Yes.
No, I don't care about that.
Okay.
Let me ask the damn question. So, you've also restricted dairy.
Oh yes.
Oh,
I forgot to mention that.
I should just do this by myself. Hey, Victor. Oh, yeah, I restricted dairy. Yeah, okay, great. All right. Yeah, so why did you restrict dairy?
Okay, this is another topic. Fuck, I didn't finish that part yet.
Okay,
let me elaborate on those vegetables. What did change is I felt I sleep better. I feel that I sleep more deeply. It's harder to wake me. I feel that I regenerate quicklier. There's no such more quickly or faster. Okay, yes. I regenerate better, and I have overall more energy. And
speaking of regeneration, have you tried stem cells?
Oh
no. Okay, continue.
I feel better. I cut the carbs, so I should be losing weight. But what did happen is I lost fat, but and then my weight stopped. Like, I'm not fat just to begin with, so I didn't lose a lot of fat, but whatever. And now I see slowly my muscle mass is growing. Because I lost a lot of muscle mass this year because I was getting ready to climb Mont Blanc. That's the highest mountain in Europe, in the Alps. But that's a discussion for another topic. Fuck that. But I was running way more. I stopped lifting weights. So, my body changed. But whatever. Going back. And now I feel that I'm slowly gaining muscle mass. And it's high quality mass over quantity mass, like the mass I gain is legit and is with me to stay, and I'm not just fucking flooding my body with carbs and storing water weight. Yeah, so that's that. Now to dairy. I restricted dairy because what I did have is for fucking all my life. What I would do is I would buy a carton of milk. In the States, it would be, I don't know how, I don't remember. I don't think they didn't have milk. They had milk in like those fucking jugs, right?
Yeah, a jug of milk.
A jug of milk. And I was literally able to drink a jug of milk a day. So like since I was a kid, I would fucking love milk. Then I was getting older, so here in Europe, I would drink like a liter, not a liter,
so
a liter.
About a quart.
That's a quart of milk a day. I could just fucking sit down, eat my fucking milk or whatever. Eat my like normal dinner, and then
Victor would actually freeze his milk and then chew it in the form of milk cubes. He loved eating this milk. It was like a nice, dense, milky substance.
And I would eat a lot of milk. I would drink it every day, and I would drink it like mostly to every fucking meal, whatever it was. I'm so fucked with the money that I have to spend after this podcast. Yeah. Whatever. And
I can chip in.
I had problems with my
erections. That's out. It's out there, guys. It's out there. We know. The truth will set you free, Victor. Tell us. Speak your mind.
I had problems with my stomach. I would have just pains. I would throw up a lot. Like I couldn't go eat fast food, like a kebab here in Europe, and I would just throw up. We would go out with 10 people, eat at a restaurant. No one would have any sensations. I would just throw up for the next 2 days, and then I just cut the milk and I cut the bullshit. And my life changed. No, but since I've restricted dairy, I don't have more problems. I don't have any problems, actually. I can eat anywhere I want.
All of my problems went away.
Just away, guys. All my life problems are gone. Nothing. I'm a happy man. so just cut the milk, and it'll be all good.
Milk was the source of Victor's unhappiness. And
screw weed, screw everything. Just
get rid of the milk.
Get rid of the milk. No, but I started reading about this, and what I did read is that people are the only mammals that drink milk up into an adult age. And what they tried to say in this article is that this is, first of all, unnatural, and second of all, unhealthy. They showed some statistics that show that the amount of calcium and bone density in your body has nothing to do with the amount of milk you drink. Because there's this popular belief that if you drink more milk, you have more calcium, and your bones are healthier. Yeah, what they try to say is that this is bullshit. I'm not sure.
Supposedly, yes. I've read some studies about this, and the level.
You read the same first 2 sentences of the study because I sent it to you.
No, I continued reading on a little bit, and the thing that contributes more to bone mass.
Well, that's working out and
exercise and physical fitness. The level of calcium is important, but it's not the most important factor in determining.
And the other thing that they said is that there's a connection between stomach cancer and drinking milk, shit like that. I'm not sure that's true.
I think with the milk,
what I'm saying is that people are trying to, like, they're elaborating on this topic of drinking too much milk at an adult age, and there are studies that show that this may be indeed not the best idea. And on my own example, I can say that I do feel better when I cut dairy overall.
I think that's a very important thing that you said, that on your example, this particular approach worked for you. I think diets are very individual to a person. So what worked for Victor may not work for me, but it may work for, I don't know, Mrs. Halina from downstairs. Like, it depends on the person and the individual person's needs.
So if you guys do want to cut milk, I searched something interesting on Google. 18 surprising dairy-free sources of calcium. I've been telling myself to search this because since I started, what I did, guys, is I stopped like eating dairy almost completely. No milk, no yogurts, no cream, nothing. Like seriously, nothing. And no cheese. And I try to, right? So like if once a month I'm out with my friends, no, I'm out more often, but you know, and we go to get a pizza, I'm gonna eat the pizza. I'm not crazy, but like I try to restrict it. And so I've been reading. I've been thinking about this. Like, okay, I cut the dairy. Now what? Are my bones gonna start breaking? And I've been telling myself to research this for the past 3 days, and I didn't feel like doing it. But I did it right now, and I'm gonna start reading. Okay, so we have white beans. They're an amazing source of calcium, supposedly. Canned salmon, sardines, dried figs, bok choy, whatever the fuck that is, blackstrap mollusks, kale, black-eyed peas, like the band. So you gotta go get Fergie.
Fergie.
Almonds, oranges, turnip greens, sesame seeds, seaweed, and instant oatmeal. Oh, and orange juice, and soy milk, and tofu, and Cheerios. Oh, Cheerios! I did not know that. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, but
okay, so I eat most of the most
mostly
of these
Cheerios.
things.
I eat mostly Cheerios.
So I'm good. No, but I do eat beans. I do eat salmon. I do eat like fish overall. So sardines, I guess sometimes too. I sometimes eat almonds. I drink almond milk. I started doing that with oatmeal.
Yeah.
And
are you a fan of almond milk?
You know what? My mom likes to drink weird types of milk with her coffee, like soy milk, almond milk. Oh, shit. No, I'm not going to say what I wanted to say. Okay.
Dare I say titty milk? Interesting side note here. There's actually a cafe in Warsaw that
Isn't
serves
it like open?
coffee
Wasn't that just like...
with breast milk. I don't know if it's open. I don't know if this is fake
I think
news.
they closed it down. How can you do that? Like, who lets something like that through, though?
I don't know. But apparently this.
I think it was more like an idea, and it was a thing, but I don't think they went through it.
But I guarantee you, there's at least one cafe that sells coffee on this planet. There's a cafe that sells milk, breast milk, human breast milk with their which. Okay,
Wait. Let's go back. No, we were talking about something. Okay. How I got to the almond milk.
Yeah.
And as most of you probably know, soy is not the best thing for guys because it's genetically modified and it fucks with our balls. And so I do not want to be drinking too much soy milk. So I started drinking almond milk when I eat oatmeal once in a while. And it's the best. It fits together perfectly. Seriously, it's nice and sweet and creamy, and it's not dairy. And I'm off with my day eating kebabs and not puking after them.
So that's great.
So that's my experience with cutting dairy so far. Maybe I'll in 6 months I'll have all my bones broken, and I'll be talking to you guys from a wheelchair.
A full body cast because of the hypocalcemia. No, I don't think you should be too worried about.
I think I'm good. And what I did do is now breast milk coffee. And the first 5 things that pop out are on YouTube. This is YouTube. Sexy woman pours milk out of her breast.
Okay, can let's
skip
go
that.
next link because
Next
I don't
link.
think that's what we're looking for.
Sexy woman pours milk out of her breast. Number 3, hilarious breast milk in coffee prank. Then you have YouTube, breast milk in your coffee, breast milk in coffee prank. So it's mostly pranks. No one takes this seriously. Oh, here we go. London restaurant.
Breast milk ice cream goes on sale.
Yes,
in Covent
that's
Garden.
exactly what I wanted to read.
I think Victor was not actually using Google. He was using some different.
This was not YouTube, guys. That was not YouTube.
It was a different kind of tube. I'm thinking because those were not normal responses that I was getting. But I see now that we've got some in London.
Okay.
Apparently, there's a breast milk ice cream that went on sale at some point.
Yeah,
so there are.
Let's go to London. Let's take that cheap flight to London and go there and podcast from there. That'd be awesome.
I think that's a good idea. Absolutely, I'm all for it.
Okay, let's do that.
All right.
Okay, so bye.
So bye. We're off to London, Have you? I've never.
Okay, now Maciek. Now Maciek is going to tell something about his eating habits, something that I know that Maciek does, and which he got from some kind of podcast for sure, because that's where we get most of our knowledge. We just stopped reading books. We don't go to college more than we need to, and we just watch podcasts, and we get all our life's knowledge from there. Maciek, you intermittent fast.
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
Okay, intermittent fasting is a little bit different than what I do. What I do is...
Same thing with the ketogenic diet and what I do, right? We're like, we have our own interpretations of popular trends in the dietary world.
Intermittent fasting is a more extreme take on what I do. Intermittent fasting is very generally an idea that you don't eat for a large part of the day, and you mimic the positive effects that fasting has.
You mimic the sound of a whale.
Yeah, you make whale noises. You speak whale to your friends, like in Finding Nemo, and you have conversations like this.
Let's try to make a whale noise right now. Okay, now my whale noise.
I think my whale is better, but it sounds kind of like a wolf.
Yeah, it does. Like a little wolf.
I think there must have been a common ancestor there, and I'm channeling that common ancestor.
I think that's what you're doing.
I think that's my spirit animal, actually. Yeah, look at that. Okay, back to my topic. Maybe. So, the thing that I try to partake in, and I am generally fairly successful at it, is time-restricted eating. Recently, the Nobel Prize went to a guy who is researching the circadian clock and what it is. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm trying to eat all of the food in my day in a 10 to a maximum, from 8 to 12 hour window, so that I have at least 12 hours where I'm not taking anything that my body has to metabolize, digest, anything like that.
Okay.
The purpose that this serves is that digestion is a fairly difficult process, as in it requires a lot of energy, and it requires a lot of enzymes to be working properly at the same time. And when our bodies are not using their energy for digestion, they can work on things like recovery and clearing away cells that are damaged or somehow not working properly, and we can have this process called autophagy, where cells that are no longer functioning properly, called senescent cells, get digested. So this is this process of autophagy. And generally what the basis of this idea is that we are all running on a certain clock. So we have a certain time period in which we function well, and a certain time period in which we should be resting and not going into overdrive.
Okay, sounds good.
So I think that's something that's disrupted a lot in the Western world and Western society, where we have phones, we have artificial light, we have all of these things that screw with our internal clock. Normally we have this night and day rhythm that kept us going and kept all these processes and all these enzymatic controls working properly. And at this point, we have people doing shift work, working at nights, working with artificial light.
Yeah, we get it.
So there's a thing that, for example, a protein that does a lot of regulation is melatonin, which requires darkness. So it is produced when it is dark out, and this protein is responsible for our sleep. So a lot of people are now supplementing with melatonin because people can't get a good night's sleep.
Do you supplement anything?
No. I mean, I take a multivitamin and I take vitamin D in the winter.
That's what I do. That's what I'm doing right now. And I take A, D, and E.
Yeah.
ADE, and there should be K along with that. I think it's like the compound, right?
Those are all the fat soluble vitamins. Yeah. So those are while they are good to supplement with, if your levels are too low, those are supplements that could possibly have toxicity. Mm-hmm. Because A, D, E, and K are more difficult to excrete because they're not pissed out. Like if you take too much vitamin C, unless you're crazy, you will
piss it out.
Just piss it out.
Yeah.
So right now I was recently fighting a bit of an infection, so I was taking a lot of vitamin C. And what was what was characteristic is when I took too much, I could tell because my urine was a darker color. Long story short.
Let's talk about more about your urine.
Like
let's get into
more
that.
about my urine. Okay,
No, okay.
so long story short.
Let's get back to the fasting and what you do and
back to the fasting.
Nobel Prize.
So if I wake up around 6 or 7 or 5, depending on the day, I try to make note of when I take my first bite of food or drink my first cup of coffee or tea or whatever else. And from that point, I know that I have about, at most, 12 hours to eat. And I'd like to save myself some time to not be eating and just have my body have time to recover. And
Actually, listening to you right now, I feel like I would like to try this. But then again, I live such a irregular life. Like some days I wake up at 5, some days I wake up at 8, some days I go to sleep for 8 hours, some days I sleep 4 hours. I think it'd be hard for me to manage, like.
I think it's definitely, it can be difficult. I think there are some benefits to it. I personally,
it sounds amazing, actually.
Well, I personally don't like the thing that I found that is especially characteristic for me. When I ate a lot of food before I went to sleep, I felt tired in the morning. So regardless of how much sleep I got,
once in their lives,
if I was truly stuffed, like after a Thanksgiving dinner or after a big family dinner, if I ate that at 9 or 10 at night, then the next morning I was still groggy and still feeling the effects of this blood sugar spike, and it just took longer for me to digest this food properly. Whereas when I still will eat big meals, but I'll eat them at 5 or 6 as opposed to 9, 10, 11.
And that's the thing. Like, I would like to do that, but I have some days that I leave home at 6 in the morning and I come back at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, which is why
that's
the
why this would
implementation
kind of be hard to do.
But
it does sound amazing, and I think the benefits are real, and I would like to try that. Maybe I'll try to do that. Would it work if I tried to do that like 4 days a week or something like that?
Yeah, the studies that I've read, that I listened to actually, was an example done on rat models, for example. It's very difficult to do a dietary...
Like model rats? Like they're models?
Yeah, they're models. They're like gorgeous rats
that's
strut
amazing.
around in their cages. No, but it's very difficult to isolate a dietary product or try a diet fad in a human study, just because of consent and the difficulty of...
And because people are just fucking weak, right? We're weak-minded. We eat what we want to eat. And
I don't think that's it. I think it's more the case that you'd have to completely take that person out of society and monitor everything that he does.
Oh, yeah.
To get a perfect
makes sense.
control group, yes? So,
yeah, sure.
So we have different people who respond differently to these new diets.
Yeah, okay.
So you'll have the athlete who runs, let's say, 20 miles a week, and you have the fat guy who sits on his couch. They will respond differently to different diets.
Okay.
And so the model that they were able to do in rats, for example, found that 2 days a week, you can completely skip the whole time-restricted eating, and you will still have similar effects. I generally am of the opinion that if you implementing even 1 day a week of something like this, where you have... Let's say you have a day off, right? So like a Sunday or Saturday, where you maybe limit it to 8 hours, 9 hours, when you can sleep in later, or maybe start your first meal at 10 a.m. And then it's very feasible to end your last meal at 6 or 7 p.m.
Because I kind of drifted away.
Yeah.
2 days a week, I have to...
So let's say...
Wait. To get the benefit of it, I have to do at least 2 days a week of time-restricted eating, or minimum 5?
The model
Okay.
was shown comparing rats that did 7 days a week, 6 days a week, and 5 days a week. And
Couldn't they go 4, 3, 2, 1?
I don't know. Maybe we'll have to ask. Okay. The thing is, just because there's no evidence to support my current claim, the claim that it is a good idea to do it even once a week, I think there can be benefits shown because the mechanism is still present. It's hard to make
future Nobel Prize right here, sitting across from at the table from me.
In my dreams, maybe, but it's very difficult to observe something like this when we have a smaller time. So it's very difficult to see systemic changes in your body after a single day of time restricted eating. Same thing with any, really, like if I went vegan for a day or I went vegetarian for a day, it wouldn't necessarily change much in my overall health and well-being because it's too short to really make that big of an impact.
Okay, so what we can do is maybe, I can wait. I'll tell you in a second. 1, 2. I could try this 4 days a week, and I can tell you if I have any benefits from that.
Absolutely,
We can do that.
think we can do that,
And I can do it starting tomorrow, I guess.
Sure, sounds like a plan.
Okay.
So that is our very short explanation of some dietary fads that we've tried and that we.
Wait, what did he get the Nobel Prize for?
So the Nobel Prize that was recently given out, so the 2017 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, was given to this team of Jeffrey C. Hall, Michael Rosbash, and Michael W. Young, and they discovered the molecular mechanism that controls the circadian rhythm. So circadian rhythm is this day-night rhythm that we've had, and they actually found the specific molecules responsible for this functioning. So, for example, we have this thing called, what was it called? The PER protein and the period gene, which there's actually genetic changes that happen in our DNA from
Due
day
to
and
the
night.
fact that we're skipping this day and night rhythm.
Due to the fact even when we're not skipping it. So there's a normal function of day and night. So suddenly...
and our genes adjust to the rhythm that we live in. Is that what you're trying to say?
Our genes adjust to our process of day and night. So, for example, there's this PER protein, which is found in the cytoplasm of cells, and it fluctuates throughout the day depending on whether it's night or day.
Okay.
I mean,
I get it. Yeah.
It fluctuates according to the time. This is what is responsible for the fact that, and some people have different circadian rhythms. Yes, there are people who function better at night. I function best in the mornings. The earlier I wake up, the better I feel. So it also depends. And then you have different hormones that are released at different times. For example, right when you're about to wake up, there's some cortisol release, the stress hormone. This allows you to wake up. This is essential for you waking up. Your body temperature will fluctuate throughout the day.
Yeah. This is actually something that I do know from school, from my studies, is that our body heats up from what they say it's 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. again, we cool down. So at the moment that people are at their deepest sleep, so that's around 3 a.m. 4, we start to heat up again. And we had to learn this for when you, for example, when you have people try cryotherapy, right?
Yeah,
it's more effective while your body is heating up. So before 3 p.m, it's more effective than it is after, because it's not a huge temperature difference, something like that, but your body is just going to react in a different way.
So so you're saying that around 3 is the highest body temperature, yes?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and so probably 3 a.m. is when we would have the lowest body temperature.
Yeah, exactly.
So that would correspond.
But this is according to the book, right?
Yeah, but we're saying the general human. We're taking the very average person, which is. So that's also what I'm looking at this chart that shows what times of day that and this.
What about training? Because you work out, you train, you run, you do some shit in your life. What time do you feel best training?
What time do I feel best? I think personally, I like running in the morning. I like running even fasted, like after.
I hate that.
It doesn't bother me.
When I go running, I have to go. I love running at 1 o'clock in the morning. Seriously.
Okay, so
like,
right before
I go out at midnight, I come back 1 o'clock in the morning. I feel amazing.
Yeah. See, so I don't share that experience with you. I definitely prefer.
Then again, when I have to start training in the morning, not really. I sometimes go when I know I have to get a workout in, whether it's jiu-jitsu or a gym or whatever, before I start my day because I just won't have time later on.
Of course, but that's not your preferred.
I make myself get up and I get through the workout, but I do not feel really good. I feel like I can be deadlifting and I feel like I'm fucking sleeping in between sets. Seriously, it's not a cool it's not a cool feeling. I feel that I'm not really focused on what I'm doing and I'm more injury prone, things like that.
Sure.
So it's different. That's actually pretty
absolutely.
cool.
So with me, for example, the earlier in the morning I start with, doesn't matter if it's physical exercise or if it's some kind of studying or reading. As soon as I wake up, within maybe an hour or an hour and a half, I feel like I'm ready to work out or to run or whatever. This is when I feel like I'm most, like my mental acuity, my physical acuity is highest. Maybe I peak early. And I have this thing where there's also some variability among people, how quickly they can start functioning in the morning. You have some people who are very groggy, very long in the morning.
Then I don't really have that, but I was just talking about working out.
Yeah, no. But that's
yeah, I know what you mean. Like my brother, like
so
goddamn.
So yeah, there's a possibility that people wake up faster.
He wakes up at 4 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, and he's like, "Goddamn, I'm tired." After 14 hours of sleep.
So that's a sign that either he's underslept or there's something ineffective in the
way he sleeps.
The way he
and
sleeps.
what I was thinking about him actually when you were saying when you were talking about the eating before going to bed, he eats a ton before he goes to sleep. Maybe it's due to that fact. We're gonna experiment on my brother. I'm gonna tell him to stop eating before going to bed.
We're gonna inject him with some things. We're just gonna give him a bunch of medicine. So that's our plan for the next.
Yeah. So we have some plans.
Yeah, we'll report that to you. If there's anyone out there who has their own diet takes, their own, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, this, that, the other, whether you're kosher, not kosher, halal, all the other.
I have to say one more thing because I just remembered. You know, on YouTube where we upload our episodes, on the newest one with the media manager called Shimon that we uploaded, you have the thumbs up and you have thumbs down. Someone actually gave us 2 thumbs down under that episode.
Wow.
So
Here's us.
That's what I wanted to say. We're getting our own haters.
Yeah.
So haters, come at us, motherfuckers.
So yeah, if you hate us, then we'd love to have you.
What do you think about this? Do you think
the thumbs down?
Yeah, that's like wow.
That's interesting.
I didn't expect that. I saw my friends yesterday, and they're like, "Dude," they actually listen to us, and they're like, "Check out your YouTube channel. You have thumbs down." I'm like, "Whoa, goddamn! Who
great.
took their time to give us thumbs down? We do amazing work here. Seriously."
Yeah, we really put our hearts and souls into this, and that's
and money.
though.
We put lots of money into this.
Yeah, but I'd be interested in knowing. If it's more helpful if you comment, like saying,
like
your voices suck, your accents are horrible, you Eastern European just
Polacks.
Yeah, just something that we could work with. The thumbs down is very like,
I wouldn't even notice
I'm
it.
not gonna lose sleep over it. So
and he does wake up early.
I do.
So
wake up very
that's saying a lot. Okay, guys, I think that's enough for today.
Yeah, we won't bother you
next
anymore.
episode, so we're gonna upload this. Then you guys are gonna get to hear the full episode with the Legia Warszawa media manager.
Yeah,
and then we'll go from there. You know what?
And we're out of here.
That's how I end
All right, thank you very much.
The podcast. Okay, bye, guys.
Turkey gobble. Thank you very much.